Hi guys, how you doing? This is J-Test ASMR, and I'm here with a requested Premier League prediction, or some sort of Premier League video before this weekend, which starts a little bit later today. Which is Friday. It's about 1:30 in the morning. So yeah, it starts later tonight. So without further ado, let's get this video started. Okay. Tonight. Now you've got to forgive me because I'm not very Premier League orientated. Because if you've seen previous videos, you'll see that my team is Charlton Athletic, who last season got promoted to Championship. So Premier League isn't really my sort of thing, but I do keep tabs on what goes on. Not big tabs, but you know. So anyway, tonight we've got Liverpool and Norwich. What do you guys think? Liverpool were unlucky. I think it was last weekend. They lost 5-4 on penalties to Man City. Is it the People's Trophy or something like that? I can't remember. But they were really unlucky. However, I think tonight Liverpool are going to be newly promoted Norwich. Sorry, Norwich fans, if there's any Norwich fans watching. But I think that's going to be that. I mean, Liverpool are too damn strong. I might be wrong. I mean, we've not seen the Premier League yet. Until 24 hours from now. Big ones on Saturday. So we're truly really going to see what the Premier League is made of this year. And there's a couple of things I want to talk about that, but I'll get back to that in a minute. I think Liverpool, I think they're going to have the edge over Norwich, unfortunately. And I'm only saying unfortunately for Norwich fans. Liverpool and Norwich, I'd like to see Norwich win only on the pure fact that they have been newly promoted, and I'd like to see them prove that they can hang in the Premier League. However, I can't see it happening. So that's that. So I predict a win for Liverpool. A little thing I want to talk about is the FA Cup qualifying matches. It's the preliminary rounds. I have trouble saying that. Just in case you're interested, it is Balham versus Rusthall, Bexhill versus Balham versus Rusthall, Bexhill United versus Eastbourne, Plymouth Parkway versus Buckland Athletic, Skilmersdale United versus Penistone Church, Sutton Common Rovers versus Moseley, Woodford Town versus White Easine, and Hackney Wick versus Framlington Town. But these are obviously teams we've probably never even heard of. And you've got Scottish games as well. I don't know if you really want to know about them or not. But for the sake of people who do like Scottish games, I shall say them for you. Let me just get back onto the league. So, for the Scottish people that want to know, Scottish Championship, it's Partick Thistle versus Dundee United, and Irish Premiership, Glenavon versus Glentoran. But there is, I want to talk about Saturday's games when it comes up. I've got them written down here so I can get started while this loads. We've got West Ham and Man City. Man City, I think, are going to win that. Bournemouth and Sheffield United. Probably Bournemouth. I know Sheffield United have been newly promoted. I think it's going to be a Bournemouth game. Burnley versus Southampton. Well, that can go either bloody way. Crystal Palace and Everton. I'd like to see Everton win only purely because Crystal Palace are rivals with Charlton. Watford versus Brighton. Well, I like Watford and I like Brighton. I'd like to see Watford win, but then again, I'd hate to see Brighton lose. So, I don't know. Big game I want to talk about, Aston Villa's first game being promoted. We're facing Tottenham. Now, I've asked around a few people, and they think that Villa are going to go down to Tottenham. I have to agree. I don't want Villa to go down to Tottenham. I want Aston Villa to beat Tottenham. Simple fact is, Tottenham, over the past couple of seasons, have been too damn heavy. They've been really, really strong. And I'm just hoping that they're not this strong this season. And, I do feel that in other games, Villa will make their mark in the Premier League. But I would like to see Villa beat Tottenham. Not that I haven't got anything against Tottenham, but Villa have been newly promoted, so that's why I'd like to see Sheffield United, Norwich, and Aston Villa make their mark in the Premier League. And I think there are some Premier League games over the weekend. I skipped straight to Monday. Do forgive me. I'm just waiting for it to load up. It's taking ages. Right, Premier League, we have the Sunday, the 11th of August. We have Leicester versus Wolves, Newcastle versus Arsenal, and Man United versus Chelsea. Leicester and Wolves. I'm predicting Wolves. But then again, like I said, we don't know what form the teams are on. But I predict Wolves, Newcastle and Arsenal. I predict Arsenal. And Man United versus Chelsea. Well, Megan is a Chelsea supporter. Probably dug her own grave there. She's a Chelsea supporter, so I shall have to root for Man United. Her mum is a Man United fan, so that will be pretty interesting to see how that goes. So yeah, Leicester and Wolves, I predict Wolves. Newcastle and Arsenal, I predict Arsenal. And Man United versus Chelsea, I'm hoping Chelsea, for the sake of Megan, really. But yeah, so that's that. So yeah, that's my Premier League predictions. I am going to quickly run through Championship, League 1 and League 2, National League for those who are interested, and for those who are watching this video but might be interested in what happens in the Premier League and stuff, but also would like to know about the other teams in the other leagues. If you're like me, you like to know how all of the teams are doing. Pardon me. So I shall run through that very, very quickly with you when this wants to load up. Right. So here we go. Championship. This is for Saturday. We've got Leeds, Nottingham Forest, Birmingham versus Bristol City, Cardiff versus Luton, Charlton Athletic versus Stoke, Derby versus Swansea, Fulham versus Blackburn, Hull versus Reading, Middlesbrough versus Brentford, Preston versus Wigan, Queen's Park Rangers versus Huddersfield, Sheffield Wednesday versus Barnsley, and West Brom versus Millwall. League 1, Accrington Stanley versus Bury, match postponed. Bolton versus Coventry, Bristol Rovers versus Wickham, Fleetwood versus Wimbledon, Gillingham versus Burton, Ipswich versus Sunderland, MK Dons versus Shrewsbury, Oxford United versus Peterborough, Portsmouth versus Tranmere, Rochdale versus Doncaster, Rotherham versus Lincoln City, and Southend versus Blackpool. Into League 2 very quickly. Grimsby versus Bradford, Cambridge versus Newport, Cheltenham versus Scunthorpe, Crawley versus Salford, Macclesfield versus Leyton Orient, Mansfield versus Morecambe, Oldham versus Crewe, Plymouth versus Colchester, Port Vale versus Northampton, Stevenage versus Exeter, Swindon versus Carlisle, and Walsall versus Forest Green. Quickly into the National League, Clyde versus Ebbsfleet, Barrow versus Eastleigh, Boreham Wood versus Chesterfield, Bromley versus Torquay, Dover versus Wrexham, Halifax versus Dagenham and Redbridge, Maidenhead versus Hartlepool, Solihull Moors versus Aldershot, Sutton United versus Chorley, Woking versus Harrogate, Yeovil versus Stockport, Notts County versus Barnet, National League North, Salford versus Gateshead, Altrincham versus Blyth Spartans, Bradford Park Avenue versus Kidderminster, Chester versus Farsley Celtic, Darlington versus Kettering Town, Gloucester City versus Altrincham, Kings Lynn Town versus Hereford, Leamington Spa versus Kirsham Ashley, Southport versus Guiseley, Spennymoor Town versus Boston United, match postponed. York versus Brackley Town, and we're going to go quickly into the National League South. Braintree versus Wealdstone, Chippenham Town versus Billericay Town, Concord Rangers versus Slough Town, Dartford versus Haverton Waterlooville, Dorking Wanderers versus Tunbridge Angels, Dulwich Hamlet versus St Albans City, Eastbourne Borough versus Eastford City, Hampton and Richmond versus Hemel Hempstead Town, Hungerford Town versus Maidstone United, Welling versus Bath City, Weymouth versus Chelmsford City. And there's some more FA Cup qualifying, but I'm not going to go through that because there's so many of them. So yeah, I hope I didn't talk too quickly for you. I hope you heard all the matches that are going. There are so many of these FA Cup. It's unbelievable. Yeah, so I hope you heard all of them matches I shouted out. If you did mishear any of them, drop me a message down below and I'll be happy to go onto the BBC Sports app and reply to you what the games are for Saturday, because obviously I did speak very fast because I don't want the video to give out. But yeah, if there is any games that you didn't hear me saying properly, or games you want to know about, drop me a message and I will willingly reply to you ASAP. Okay, guys. Well, I'd like to thank you for this joining me for this requested Premier League prediction and review video. Like I say, I don't know too much about the Premier League to actually comment too much about the teams, but I'm hoping that Aston Villa, Norwich, and Sheffield United shock us all. I've got a bit. Obviously, my team is Charlton Athletic, but if I would like any team to do really well, I'd like to see Aston Villa, because I'd like to see Aston Villa get their reputation back for what they lost when they went into the Championship. So fingers crossed. There's a couple of people that are there with me as well. So let's see how it goes, and I will be back on Monday with another video to talk about this weekend's games. God, I've pissed up and I've not even had a drink. Alright guys, hopefully join me for Monday. If not, join me for Tuesday, when I'll probably be doing a lollipop or a gum chewing video. So Monday will be football video. Tuesday will be back to normal. Okay guys, well, that's going to do it for this video. So as I always say, take care of each other and yourselves, and I will see you very soon. I'll see you hopefully on Monday. Ciao for now.